Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and friends, today I stand before you to remind us all of the incredible power we hold within us. We are not just here to exist, to live a mundane life, but we are born to make history. Every one of us has the potential to impact the world, to leave a legacy, to create change that echoes far beyond our time. But what does it mean to be born to make history? Is it about fame, fortune, or power? No. It is about the way we live our lives, the choices we make, and how we respond to challenges. History is not written by those who remain passive. It is written by those who dare to dream, who stand up in the face of adversity, and who create something extraordinary. Every great story in history was made by individuals who chose to rise above, to take action when others were still waiting for change. We are born to make history, not because of what we inherit, but because of what we create. We each have a unique story, a mission, a gift, and it's up to us to decide how we use it. As we stand at the crossroads of the present and the future, remember, the world needs visionaries. The world needs dreamers. The world needs you. Let your actions be the history books of tomorrow. So I ask you today, what kind of history will you leave behind? Will you leave a legacy of courage, innovation, and kindness? Will you be the person who made a difference, who changed the world for the better? The time is now. We are all born to make history. Let's rise to the occasion. Let's make it happen, and let's shape the future with our boldness, our vision, and our relentless pursuit of greatness. From the moment we are born, we are gifted with something profound, the potential to make a difference. Every human being, regardless of background, circumstances, or resources, possesses an innate power that is unique to them. This power is not defined by external validation, accolades, or what others may see as success. Instead, it is defined by the drive within, the ability to create change, to push boundaries, and to shape the world in a way that only we can. Too often we fall into the trap of measuring our potential against the achievements of others, thinking that to make a difference, we must first fit into a mold that society deems acceptable or noteworthy. But the reality is far more expansive. The true power within us comes from the ability to envision something greater than what currently exists, and to take steps toward making that vision a reality. It's about thinking beyond limitations, whether personal, social, or financial, and recognizing that every small action has the capacity to contribute to something far larger than ourselves. There are countless stories throughout history of individuals who came from humble beginnings, faced overwhelming odds, and yet still managed to make an indelible impact on the world. These people didn't have an extraordinary start. They simply recognized the power within themselves to rise above their circumstances. They didn't wait for permission or for the world to align perfectly in their favor. Instead, they took what they had, whether it was a burning passion, a vision, or just the will to try, and they shaped history with it. Each of us has this same power, often untapped and dormant, waiting for the right moment to emerge. But too frequently, we are discouraged by the noise of society, by the expectations of others, or by the challenges that stand in our way. It's easy to become disheartened, to believe that our personal circumstances or our own doubts limit us. However, the greatest achievements throughout time have often come from those who were told they couldn't, those who had nothing but their own belief in themselves to push forward. The power within us is not about being perfect or having everything figured out from the beginning. It's about having the courage to start, the resilience to keep going, and the determination to embrace our flaws and shortcomings as part of the journey. We are all born with this power, even if it is buried deep under layers of self-doubt or the weight of societal expectations. Recognizing this power, nurturing it, and allowing it to drive us is the first step in transforming our potential into something that leaves a lasting impact on the world around us. This power is not reserved for the chosen few, the elite, or those who appear to have it all. It's embedded in every one of us. The only difference between those who make history and those who do not is the willingness to tap into this power and act upon it. History is not a passive recounting of events that just happen to unfold. It is a dynamic narrative shaped by the actions of individuals who dared to step forward and make their mark. The world does not change by waiting for things to fall into place on their own. It changes when people decide to take control, to challenge the status quo, and to act upon their beliefs, ideas, and passions. If we look back through time, we see that every monumental shift in history, whether social, political, scientific, or cultural, was propelled forward by someone who chose to act when others might have hesitated, remained silent, or simply accepted the world as it was. These were the people who didn't wait for permission. They made their own path. They acted with purpose, and in doing so they forced the world to respond. Take, for example, the story of civil rights activists in the mid-20th century. These individuals didn't simply wish for equality. They acted on their desire for change. They marched, they protested, they fought against institutionalized systems of oppression, even in the face of immense danger and hostility. Their actions sparked a movement that not only changed the course of history in their own countries, but also influenced the world. Their courage did not come from the certainty of victory, but from the deep understanding that without action, there could be no change. Consider also the pioneers of technological innovation. The Wright brothers, against all odds, didn't just dream of flight. They labored tirelessly to build the first successful airplane. They faced skepticism, ridicule, and countless failures, but they acted on their conviction that human flight was possible. Their relentless pursuit of their vision led to one of the most significant advancements in human history. They didn't wait for the perfect moment, nor did they wait for others to come up with the idea. They took action, and the world forever changed. History is not shaped by passive thinkers. It is made by doers. By people who take the ideas, dreams, and ideals in their hearts and transform them into tangible action. The acts of these individuals might seem small in the moment. Perhaps a single decision to speak out, or to stand up in the face of injustice, or maybe a quiet moment of innovation that will grow into something revolutionary. But it is through these small actions that history is forged. To make history, one must act with conviction, not just sit and wait for it to come to them. In every moment we are faced with choices. Do we let fear or doubt hold us back? Or do we take that step forward, even when the road is unclear? Do we let the voices of those who say it cannot be done drown out our own? Or do we push ahead with the belief that our actions, however uncertain, will lead us to something greater? It is this willingness to act, despite the unknown, despite the challenges, that sets apart those who shape history from those who simply live in it. The most significant movements in history didn't start with grand gestures. They started with small, courageous actions. One person standing up for what is right. One voice calling out against injustice. One person deciding that they could make a difference, even if the odds were stacked against them. Action is the driving force that propels history forward. It is the catalyst for change, the force that pushes us out of complacency and into progress. Without action, history would stagnate, remaining unchanged, locked in the confines of the present. But through action, the world is constantly moving, constantly evolving, and constantly being reshaped by those who dare to step forward and make their mark. When we speak about being born to make history, we must understand that it's not simply about achieving fame or acquiring wealth. It's about what we create, the impact we have on the world, and the lasting changes we bring about. What we create is not just physical or material. It's the legacy of ideas, innovations, movements, and shifts in thinking that we leave behind. True greatness is not in accumulating things or titles. It's in the creation of something meaningful that transcends time. Something that continues to inspire long after we are gone. Throughout history, we've witnessed individuals who didn't just exist in the world, but actively created something new, a new way of thinking, a new technology, a new art form, or a new social order. These creators were not simply focused on the outcomes of their work, but on the deeper impact they could have. For instance, Albert Einstein didn't just develop theories of relativity to win recognition. He created a new way of understanding the universe. His work changed the course of physics and led to innovations that transformed technology, medicine, and our very understanding of space and time. Einstein's legacy lives not in the accolades he received, but in the profound shift he brought to the world's understanding of reality. Similarly, consider the creators in the arts, writers, musicians, and visual artists, whose work transcends generations. Shakespeare's plays continue to influence modern storytelling, not because he sought to be the most famous playwright of his time, but because he created works that captured the complexity of the human experience. His characters, themes, and words continue to resonate with people around the world. The same can be said for musicians like Beethoven, who didn't just compose music to entertain. He created works that would change the landscape of classical music and continue to inspire listeners centuries later. When we talk about what we create, we must also think about the ripple effects of those creations. The creation of something new often brings with it unforeseen consequences, both good and bad. For example, when the internet was created, its creators may not have fully understood the transformative effect it would have on communication, commerce, education, and social interactions. The internet has redefined almost every aspect of modern life. In the same way, many of our greatest creations, whether they are physical or abstract, set into motion a chain of events that affect not only our immediate surroundings, but also future generations. creation is also deeply personal. What we create can come from our innermost selves, our thoughts, experiences, and emotions. Art, literature, music, and innovation often arise from a desire to express something that words alone cannot capture. Every creation in its purest form is an extension of the creator's identity, beliefs, and worldview. And while many creations may be seen as tangible products, like inventions or buildings, some creations are intangible, such as movements for justice or philosophies that inspire change. The powerful legacies left by figures like Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. didn't come from what they personally gained, but from the ideals and values they inspired through their actions and words. Moreover, creation is not just about innovation in the traditional sense. It's about reimagining existing concepts and making them better. Sometimes making history is not about inventing something new, but about taking something already in existence and transforming it. For example, Steve Jobs didn't invent the personal computer or the smartphone, but he revolutionized the way we interact with technology. His creations, like the iPhone, took existing technology and made it not only accessible, but intuitive, sleek, and embedded in the daily lives of millions of people. In this sense, making history is less about individual moments of brilliance and more about consistent effort over time. It is the act of taking an idea and refining it, expanding it and nurturing it until it becomes something far greater than its original form. Whether it's the art we create, the businesses we build, the relationships we foster, or the communities we contribute to, the power of creation lies in the potential to change the world, bit by bit. The key to making history through creation is understanding that it's not always about doing something radically different. It's about doing something that matters, that serves a higher purpose, that resonates deeply with people, and that has the potential to endure long after we're gone. The things we create, whether they're tangible objects, abstract ideas, or social changes, are the true testaments of our impact on the world. They reflect the quality of our vision, the strength of our will, and the breadth of our influence. Ultimately, what we create defines who we are, and what we leave behind for future generations. Every individual is born with a unique set of qualities, talents, and potential that, when harnessed, can lead to profound impact. These gifts are not always immediately obvious, nor are they always celebrated by society in the same way. But they exist within all of us, often hidden beneath layers of self-doubt or external expectations. The most important thing we can do is recognize and cultivate these gifts, because they hold the key to both personal fulfillment and the ability to create lasting change in the world. It's easy to think that greatness is reserved for the extraordinary, those whose talents are immediately visible, or whose paths are clearly paved by exceptional circumstances. However, greatness is not limited to the gifted few. The true power lies in recognizing that each person, regardless of background or circumstance, has something valuable to offer. Our unique gift might not be something that can be measured in conventional terms or celebrated by the masses, but that doesn't make it any less important. Each gift has its own place in the world, and when we discover it, we unlock our potential to contribute in ways that only we can. Think of the world's greatest thinkers, creators and leaders. They weren't always extraordinary in the traditional sense. They were individuals who recognized that they had something unique to offer, something that the world needed, whether it was an idea, a perspective, a talent, or a vision. Albert Einstein was not born with the aim of becoming a household name. His brilliance in physics was driven by his relentless curiosity and a unique ability to see the world differently. Similarly, Maya Angelou's powerful writing was rooted in her unique experiences and perspective, which allowed her to speak to universal truths in a way that resonated deeply with people. But recognizing and nurturing our unique gifts is not always easy. It requires self-awareness and the courage to look within. Often we are conditioned by society to focus on the collective, to conform to norms, or to seek validation from external sources. This can make it difficult to trust that our individual gifts, especially those that may not fit into traditional molds, are valuable. Many people spend years, if not their entire lives, without fully understanding what their true gift is, and that is not by accident. It is often the result of an environment that values conformity over individuality. Yet the very essence of what makes us unique, the experiences that have shaped us, the perspectives that have emerged from our struggles, our passions and even our failures, is the very core of what can make us impactful. This individuality is not a weakness. It is the source of our greatest strength. Our unique gifts are the sum of all that we are, our talents, our knowledge, our passions, our upbringing, and our dreams. They make us who we are, and are the very foundation upon which we can build something meaningful. Consider the example of someone who has an innate gift for empathy. While this may not seem like a traditional gift in a world that often values intellect or physical prowess, the ability to connect deeply with others and understand their emotions is a rare and powerful trait. A person with this gift might not become famous, but they could build bridges in their community, support individuals through crises, and create a legacy of compassion. The world needs these types of gifts just as much as it needs inventors, artists, or leaders. Each gift serves its own purpose in the larger tapestry of humanity. The beauty of this point lies in the recognition that no gift is too small or too insignificant to matter. Every person's talent has the potential to change the world, even if it doesn't look like what we typically expect. A gifted teacher can shape generations. A skilled craftsman can create beauty that will last for centuries. And a compassionate friend can bring light into someone's darkest moment. The key is not to compare ourselves to others, but to embrace what we have to offer, and pursue it with determination and passion. We are often told that success is measured by certain standards, wealth, fame, power. But true success lies in understanding and embracing the unique gifts we each carry. When we acknowledge and nurture our own talents, we begin to see that we are more than just participants in the world. We are creators, innovators, and change makers, each in our own way. The act of recognizing our unique gifts is not just an internal realization. It is the first step in our journey to contribute something meaningful to the world. It is only when we realize and cultivate our own unique gifts that we can truly begin to understand the impact we are capable of. Each gift we possess holds the potential to transform the world in its own way, and the beauty is that no two gifts are alike. Together these individual contributions form a mosaic of greatness that shapes the course of history, one unique gift at a time. Visionaries are the people who look beyond the current limitations of the world and imagine something better. They see possibilities where others see barriers, and they have the courage to pursue their dreams, even when it seems impossible. These individuals have the ability to look beyond the horizon and visualize what could be, often when no one else can see it. They are the trailblazers who challenge the norm, disrupt established systems, and push humanity forward in ways that were once thought unattainable. But visionaries are not just dreamers, they are doers. They possess a unique ability to translate their dreams into action, often by taking risks and stepping into the unknown. It is not enough to simply have a vision. A true visionary brings that vision to life, even when the world resists change. Visionaries create new paths. They carve out spaces where none existed before, and in doing so they redefine what is possible. If we examine history, we can see that many of the most transformative changes in society came about because of people who had the foresight to imagine a different future. Think about individuals like Martin Luther King Jr., whose vision of a world free of racial injustice inspired a movement that changed the fabric of American society. Or Steve Jobs, who envisioned a world where technology could be integrated seamlessly into our everyday lives, creating the smartphones and personal computers that revolutionized how we interact with the world. These visionaries didn't accept things as they were. They saw what could be, and they worked tirelessly to make it a reality. Visionaries are often misunderstood in their time. Their ideas can be so far ahead of their time that others dismiss them, thinking they are impractical or impossible. But history teaches us that it is often these same ideas, rejected at first, that eventually change the world. Visionaries like Nikola Tesla, whose ideas about electricity and wireless communication were once considered radical, were ahead of their time in ways that only became clear to others decades later. In the moment, Tesla's vision was not widely accepted, yet it laid the foundation for much of the technology we use today. Moreover, visionaries often face immense resistance. They are not always supported by the status quo, and their ideas can be met with ridicule or hostility. But this resistance is often a sign that they are challenging existing power structures, traditional mindsets, and outdated systems. True visionaries understand that resistance is part of the process and are willing to face obstacles and setbacks without losing sight of their goal. Their resilience is a defining trait. They persist sometimes for years, often without immediate rewards, because they are driven by a vision that transcends their own personal gain. In a world where the pace of change is accelerating, the need for visionaries has never been greater. We are living in an era of immense challenges: climate change, political instability, economic inequality, and technological disruption, to name a few. These global problems require visionary thinking to solve. The world needs people who can imagine a sustainable future, who can see a path to peace in times of conflict, and who can create systems of justice and equality where they are lacking. The solutions to these pressing issues will not come from those who are content with the status quo, or who simply look at the problems through a narrow lens. They will come from the people who can see beyond the immediate challenges and envision a world that works for everyone. Visionaries also inspire others. Their ideas are not confined to themselves. They are often the catalyst for a movement, an entire generation that rallies behind their vision. Visionaries create a ripple effect, inspiring others to dream big, to act boldly, and to see the world not just for what it is, but for what it could become. This is why visionaries are so crucial to the fabric of society. They don't just create change for themselves. They pave the way for others to follow and contribute to the world-changing vision. But to be a visionary, one must also have the courage to think differently, to break free from conventional thinking, and to see the world with a new set of eyes. The challenge for each of us is to tap into our own inner vision, to look at the world not just for what it is, but for what it could be. We may not all be the next Steve Jobs or Martin Luther King Jr., but each of us has the potential to be a visionary in our own way, whether in our personal lives, in our communities, or in our professional fields. The future will be shaped by those who dare to dream and act on those dreams, and it is our collective visions that will move humanity forward. The world needs visionaries because they are the ones who see the potential for change, for progress, for transformation. Without them, society would stagnate, held captive by the limitations of what already exists. It is the visionaries who look beyond these limitations, who dream of a better world, and take the first steps toward making it a reality. A legacy is not just a collection of accomplishments, accolades, or material wealth. It is the mark we leave on the world, the impact we have on those around us, and the ways in which we influence future generations. When we think about the concept of legacy, it is easy to focus on the visible, tangible aspects, buildings, monuments, financial wealth, but the true legacy lies in the intangible. It resides in the hearts of the people whose lives we touched, in the changes we catalyzed, and in the values we instilled. What we leave behind is not just what we created during our lifetime, but the ripple effects of our actions and ideas that continue to resonate long after we are gone. Legacy is deeply personal, but it is also communal. It is a reflection of who we are, but it is also shaped by how we interact with the world and the people around us. The legacy we leave is not simply a record of our achievements. It is a reflection of the kind of person we were, our integrity, our kindness, our commitment to something greater than ourselves. It is about how we lived, not just what we did. When we think about leaving a legacy, it is important to ask, what kind of person do I want to be remembered as? What values do I want to pass on to those who come after me? This question of legacy is crucial because the actions we take today set the foundation for the future. Everything we do, from the smallest gesture to the most significant decision, contributes to the legacy we will leave behind. The way we treat others, the integrity with which we carry out our work, the way we show up in our communities, all of these things are a part of our legacy. A legacy is built over time, piece by piece, through our choices and our actions. It is shaped by the relationships we build, the challenges we face, and the courage we show in the face of adversity. Many people think of legacy as something reserved for the famous or the highly accomplished, but this is a misconception.
Legacy is not about fame. It's about the impact we have, whether large or small. A teacher who inspires a student to reach their full potential leaves behind a legacy. A parent who instills the values of kindness and perseverance in their children leaves behind a legacy. A community leader who works to uplift those around them and create a more just society leaves behind a legacy. Legacy is not about reaching the top of a career or gaining the admiration of thousands. It's about making a meaningful contribution to the world in a way that will continue to resonate after we are no longer here. We must also recognize that leaving a legacy is not just about what we do during our lives. It's about the example we set for those who come after us. Our actions, our choices, and our words can inspire others to continue our work, to live with the same values, and to carry forward the torch. The greatest legacies are often the ones that continue to grow and evolve, long after the original creator is gone. Think of the movements for civil rights, freedom and equality that were started by individuals, but sustained by entire generations. These legacies live on, because they were rooted in powerful ideas and actions that inspired others to take up the cause and continue the fight. It's important to remember that legacy is not something that happens in an instant. It is not defined by a single act or accomplishment. Rather, it is the accumulation of everything we do, every interaction we have, every decision we make over the course of our lives. Legacy is built day by day, and it is a reflection of who we are at our core. It is about living with intention and purpose, understanding that every moment presents an opportunity to contribute to something greater than ourselves. The choices we make today, no matter how small they may seem, are the foundation for the legacy we leave behind. In thinking about legacy, we must also recognize that it is not just about what we create for ourselves, but what we create for others. Legacy is deeply connected to the idea of service, to the idea that our lives can be of benefit to others, and in doing so we make the world a better place. Whether we're providing a platform for others to succeed, standing up for those whose voices are silenced, or working to create a more just and equitable society, our legacy is shaped by the lives we touch and the difference we make in the world. A legacy can take many forms. It can be the intellectual contributions we make, the businesses we build, the art we create, the knowledge we impart, or the relationships we foster. It can be the way we challenge injustice, the way we inspire others to believe in themselves, or the way we create opportunities for future generations. Legacy is not just about material things or tangible success. It is about the lasting impression we leave on the world, the ways in which we inspire change, and the seeds we plant for the future. In the end, we are all born to make history, not just through grand sweeping gestures, but through the everyday choices we make, the actions we take, and the lives we touch. Each of us has the potential to create something meaningful, something that transcends time, and leaves an indelible mark on the world. Whether it's through our unique gifts, our vision for a better future, or the legacy we leave behind, we all have a role to play in shaping the course of history. The key is to recognize the power within us, to act with purpose, to create with passion, and to live with intention. The world needs individuals who are willing to dream, to act, and to leave behind something that will inspire those who come after us. So as we move forward, Let us remember that we are not just living for the moment, but we are building a future that will echo in the lives of generations to come. We are born to make history, and every step we take, no matter how small, is part of that journey. The question is not whether we will make history, but what kind of history we will make. The choice is ours.